Hello and welcome to Never a Foul. This is the last show before the Premier League is back after the Champions League. North London Derby. Is this Spurs with the biggest chance to ever get a result at the Emirates after 2010, or Arsenal are just going to smash them like they smashed PSV? And Antonio is going to go to Anfield and get a result. And is this Erik ten Hag's last game? Players, people are turning on him. But I'm here with Lee, Sean, Mons. Cass is going to be here. How is everybody feeling before this great weekend of football where they put all the good football at one time?
Arsenal, you must. That's all I'm going to say. You must win. After the little growing that's been going on, still talking towards Tottenham, you must win.
I'll be honest, I really do think that this North London derby is not the biggest game of the weekend, to be fair.
Whoa.
Really not.
Why?
He's waiting to be asked what is the biggest game so he can.
No. I just think that. Oh, I thought it was gonna. I just think that the Man United game is bigger. To be fair, I think that the Man United game is the bigger game.
Why?
Just because I think that the formalities of Sunday will be that we beat Spurs because we always beat them. So
there you go. See, that's the rub. That's what he was hoping to get. He didn't really land the way he wanted it to. He wanted people to ask him why, and then who was the biggest game. No, it didn't really land. Didn't land. But yeah, Man United.
Anyway,
sure, big game.
It's over 200 already here. We're 2 minutes in. Hit that like button for us. Get us to new audience, guys. Get us at least to 150 likes within the first 5 minutes. The like button is underneath your live chat. It looks like this. Thumbs up. Just hit that like button, please, for us. Hit that thumbs up. And also your super chats are appreciated. Check out the membership in the description to be on a panel with us on Sunday. But let's talk about it then. North London Derby. Spurs coming to this game ahead of Arsenal. If this was not at the Emirates, will people be talking a different talk about this game? Or it's only the Emirates talk? Sean, you tell me.
Wait, what was the question?
Is it only because it's the Emirates people are not giving Spurs any chance? Is this probably
who isn't giving Spurs a chance? I know you're not giving Spurs a chance. I heard you on the football terrace, and I wanted to hold you accountable to that. On what basis? Is it just historical? Is that what you're saying? Is it because we have no historical success at that ground?
Yes. No, that's one. Do you want me to debate with you?
No,
yes.
I want to understand your perspective.
Okay, so that's number one. Okay, so I'm going to explain it to you. Number one, historically, you don't win at the Emirates. You won twice. The last time you won is 2010. Arsenal now are probably in the best position over the past 10 years where you haven't won a game. This is Arsenal. This is the best Arsenal we have seen. Last year, they won home and away. And this year, they aren't worse than last year. That's number two. Number three, your defense for me is wide open. It's wide open. And they're at...
Okay. Should I wait?
Yeah,
for
of course. Every point you can debate.
So let me go back then. Let me go. If I have challenge you on each particular point.
Yes.
First point, you said 10 years, 100%, or since 2010. I agree with you. It's fine. Yeah, 100%. It's fine, right? But you know what? Historical performance is no indication of future performance. That's just it is what it is. It's an indicator. It's a variable, but it's not a fact. It's just something that you can bear in mind. But when the variables change, the outcomes can change. That's the same in every walk of life, not just in sport. Second thing you said was Arsenal are at their best version of themselves for a long time, right? And I agree with that. They're a very good unit. Would you agree, though, that Tottenham have improved more measurably over the last 12 months or over the last season or over the last 3 months, whatever, than Arsenal have? Have Arsenal improved to a better level of themselves than they were last season?
No.
Than Tottenham have versus their last season's version of themselves?
Yes, you did.
So the gap has closed from last season between Arsenal and Tottenham.
The gap has closed, but this
Okay,
is
so
not
that's fine. So that's what I want to know. Your third point was
your defense will not be able to handle their offensive side.
on what basis is that based on? How many goals have we conceded this year?
7, 6, 6, or 5.
How many?
5. You conceded 5, if I'm not mistaken.
What basis are you basing on?
Okay.
Explain to me the narrative.
Answer? I answer or no?
No.
Your defense is wide. Okay, so let me answer then.
Why is it wide open? Explain to me why it's wide open.
Because you concede a lot of chances every game, and you play very expensive football.
No, we don't.
Okay, you don't.
No, we don't.
So I believe. So based on what? I believe my eyes.
Okay,
I'm watching your games.
United. What's the average amounts of shots on goal that Tottenham have conceded?
I can go to the stats. So you want me to go to the stats to answer that?
No, I can tell you.
I don't know. You know, so you know the answer.
No, it's like 40% less than last year when we were playing a low block team.
You keep comparing yourself to last year.
No, because you are. But let's carry on.
I am actually not. I never compared you to last year.
I'm waiting to hear the culmination. The fourth reason why Arsenal are going to smash us is.
So I answered you, but you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe that your defense. You don't want to believe that your defense is wide open. This is your. You don't want to believe that.
Oh, I'm just listening to your points right now. I'm waiting for you to. How many? What are the other reasons why you think that Arsenal are going to tear us apart?
I don't think this is it. I didn't say they're going to tear you apart. See, you're putting words in my mouth. I never said that.
Oh, I've heard
will win.
I've heard you all week.
So my prediction on the football terrace. So
we got no
you to come and say that. Okay, so hold on. You accuse me of something, right? You can go back. This is a public video on the football terrace. My predictions was 2-1. In what world this means they're going to tear you up? In what world?
No, I heard you on the football terrace. You said any Tottenham fan that thinks that Tottenham have got a chance are crazy. They're delusional. You said the word deluded, right? So I'm asking you.
I think you're confusing me with Igal and Kunle.
No, I heard you, bro. You said it an hour ago.
I said that anybody that thinks that Tottenham has a chance is deluded. I said that. Mo said that on the football terrace.
Yeah, I think you said the word deluded. If I'm wrong. But I've heard you all week. I've heard you all week saying that Tottenham haven't got a chance. Am I wrong?
I think you don't have a chance in this game, and if you win,
it's going
to be a surprise.
So carry on with the explanation.
But hold on, you're telling me that I said you're gonna I said that they're gonna tear you apart, and I never.
No, but you think we haven't got a chance. It doesn't matter.
By the way, that has nothing to do with tearing you apart. Tearing you apart. Forget the word tearing apart. I don't get it.
Forget the word tearing apart. Forget the word tearing apart. Forget the word tearing apart. Carry on with the reasons why. So you think that our defense is going to get split wide open? The history of Tottenham against Arsenal at the Emirates.
Yes.
Right.
These are the two indications. These are the two things.
Okay. That's it.
Well, I think that's enough.
Really?
Absolutely. 100%.
The history of Tottenham. We haven't played this version of football at Tottenham.
Hold on.
The historical track record is
That's wrong. This is not the best Tottenham we've seen in the last 13 years. We've seen better Tottenhams that didn't win at the Emirates. Is that wrong or right? Is that a wrong or right statement?
No. What better version? You talking about the Pochettino years?
One of them.
Well, how do you know they were better than this version of Tottenham?
So let me get this straight.
This is the best version of Tottenham we've seen. We haven't started a Premier League season better than this since 1966.
So you think so you knew your opinion, you correct. So you're correcting me that I'm not a Spurs fan. This is the best Spurs fan of the past 13 years. This is it. It's a yes or no question.
It's the best start to a Tottenham season that Tottenham fans have seen since 1966.
So forget that. There is a lot
of the best football. This is the best football that we've seen for Tottenham at Tottenham. This is the best results we've seen. Is this the best football? Is the best Tottenham team? I think it's 5 games in. It's too early to tell. But on that basis, I think it's far too early to write us off just because we usually lose to Arsenal. I just think it's not that clean.
Hold on, sorry, between the two teams. So, in your opinion, this is the best chance that Spurs has to go to the Emirates and get a result because this is the best Spurs team over the past 13 years.
I don't care about the past. I'm saying that we have a good chance of getting something out of the game, and you haven't convinced me.
Everybody has a chance to get something out of the game.
And I'm saying that we have a good chance. I'm saying that we have a good chance, and the reasons why you're saying we don't is based on the fact that we haven't done it historically.
Would you put your
I think
money?
that's irrelevant.
Would you
You're
put
saying
your
that Arsenal
money
are the
on it?
best version of themselves that they've been. I'm saying that we're closer to them now than we were previously. And you're saying that Tottenham's defense gets torn apart, and I'm saying it doesn't. So I don't know what basis you're rationalizing your argument that Tottenham are guaranteed to get.
My opinion is that your opinion is different. My opinion is that your defense, if you play progressive football, which is what your manager said, it will get split apart with this Arsenal attack. This is my opinion.
Can I just ask you one question? Can I just,
go ahead?
Because I think ultimately you're going to back your team. Rightly or wrongly, you're going to back your team. And I know, you spoke about before Sava, the fact that that's your mate, and you didn't like the fact that he was very brutally honest about he basically will just be as real or blunt as possible. And even if you don't want to agree with something to do with Arsenal, or you don't want to downplay your team. You don't want to downplay your team. The reason why you don't want to downplay your team because ultimately it gives fire to the opposition, right? So I don't know necessarily. I don't necessarily know if you're being truthful with what you're saying right now. But do you think? I
don't know what you just said, mate. You've mentioned Sava. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, no. What I'm saying to you is you're somebody who you won't give too much to the opposition because ultimately you think that you're going to fuel opposition fans to have something over you or to make it seem that you're giving something to the opposition. So let's just say, for example,
why are you saying that? Where's that come from?
Because you said it to me before. Yeah,
on this particular conversation, I've heard Mo's logic as to why Tottenham. I work on logic, not emotion. I don't work on emotion. I work on logic. My point is, I'm saying I've heard Mo's logic, and I don't think it stands to water.
All I'm saying to you is, right now I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking it's hard to believe what you're saying because you don't always say.
What have I said, mate?
Wait. You know what? Go on in, because I feel like you're getting emotional, mate. I don't know.
Bro, I'm not emotional at all, man. I'm enjoying the conversation.
Have you said last year, do you think you said something similar to the fact that that might have been your best chance last year? Or the year before, do you think that you might have said, oh, well, that was my best our best chance last year? Do you think you said that before?
About playing Arsenal at the Emirates?
Yeah. Do you think that's you think you said that before?
No.
You've never said that?
No.
You don't think you've ever said that?
Do I think that I've said that Arsenal
high-scoring, helter-skelter game? I think it's going to be fascinating to watch. I think it'll be very frustrating to watch.
Who does that sound like?
Tottenham being bombarded by Arsenal for the majority of the game. But that's just the way it is away at home. Shake hands with the fact that that's a difficult place to go for Tottenham to get a point. And then if we get a point and we don't lose, we remain unbeaten. And then we'll smash them in the home leg anyway later on in the season. So that's where we can get our 3-point differential on them. But for now...
Do you know when that was?
Was that before the Arsenal game last season?
That was 11 months ago. When you were spewing, for 17 minutes, the fact that you're going to play 3-5-2, you're going to sit back deep. And throughout the video, if you actually go back and watch it, you were basically summarizing that.
I don't know what you're coming across real smart ass, but I don't know what I've said there that was too crazy.
Stop being let people finish, because you keep talking over me. Otherwise, it's pointless. This is pointless. You keep spewing every year pretty much that you are going to beat Arsenal and it's your best opportunity. Like, well, and don't 11 months ago you did the same thing, and then you ended up by saying that you was hoping for, or you believe that you guaranteed you're going to get a 2-2 draw, and then you said that wait, and then you said that you was going to beat us at your ground last. That's because these are your words. That's what you said. You was going to beat us, and you will make up the 3 points differential. That's what you said. These are your words. And if you want me to replay it again, or I can send it to Kaz.
No, I heard it. I was wrong. Okay, so I was wrong about a prediction about Arsenal Tottenham at home. Hold up, bro. You with your big boy coming on here, bringing up the receipts. Shall I go and get all the receipts that you've ever said about your team, mate? Listen, I promise you this. The next thing I'm going to do after this show is I'm going to go and track back everything you've ever said about your club so I can get the receipts
You want
out.
me to finish
Let
my
him
point,
talk,
though?
give him a chance to answer.
No, because I hadn't
It's
finished.
the most pathetic thing. Just because I buried you the other week on Saeed's show, mate, with your team. You wanted to come out. You want to come out, bring your receipts out, and try and be a little big boy. It's the most childish thing I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, mate, that is so sad. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. I buried you on Saeed's channel. Like, don't do that, bro.
Sean, calm down. You are definitely rattled, bro. Okay, calm down. Sean, calm down. Yeah, calm down. Keep your hat on and calm down. Listen, the point is you have done this before. You and your fans have done this before, where every single year it's your best opportunity. And now my point is, you're coming to the Emirates now. You need to come with a little bit more humble attitude with the way. Wait, and stop getting butthurt. Don't interrupt because I know I can see it. Calm down. And you just need to understand you're coming to the Emirates. Now, the Emirates isn't a place where you pick up points traditionally. The same way how I said to Mons, we don't pick up points at Anfield. The same way how even at Old Trafford, we've traditionally struggled there. So the issue that I've got with what you're saying, you can back your team. But for you to come here saying this is your best opportunity when you said it 11 months ago, and you probably said it the year before that, and you probably said the year before that, it makes no sense because currently you're going off five games or 6 games or whatever it is, including pre-season, where you've played a lot better. But we can't go, and you can't go from here to here off of 5 games because ultimately it was only a couple of months ago, Sean, where you were down on some of these players that are still playing for you. And you were down on some of these people that are meant to be the guys that are meant to be putting you up. You were down on Son last season. And now you're going to leverage him up to a position that he shouldn't be at. So this is my point with you.
I apologize if I'm
you're good, man. You're good.
No, you're good, man. No, listen, it's all right. It's just people just got emotions, and to be honest, it just got emotional, and just I know everybody's gonna calm down. You did what you did. He did what he did. It is what it is. Like,
I'm sorry, boss. Let's carry on.
Yes, there's loads of supers to get through.
You can run them.
All right. Official says Arsenal versus Tottenham is going to be 4-1 to Tottenham. My bad. Common Spurs R9. He will score. Giovanni says, I was having an uneventful day. Thanks for the entertainment, Monts. You need to chill. AB says, Ali, you ain't whooping nobody. Stop with the fake bravado. Don't let the muscles get you gassed. You know, I don't rather not. Yeah, let's not get reminders. I appreciate the end. I don't really want to do them. Allow it. Don't call Lee that as well. So he's not a female dog. But yeah, man. Big up for the super chats. But yeah, man. Arsenal versus Tottenham. So what is your so for me, for you, Sean, my question is, do you actually think you're gonna go to the Emirates and get any sort of results?
No, I hope so, man. I spent a lot of money on a ticket. A lot of money.
How much?
Like silly money, man. Silly, like half rent money kind of thing.
Wait, what's half rent money? Like, how much rent do you pay?
No, I'm like silly money. Like
£500, isn't it? You spent £500. Oh my god, you spent £700.
You know, I spent a lot of money on a ticket, right? And I haven't even got the ticket yet, so we'll find out if I've been completely mugged off. My point is that look, I'm so shocked by what's happened. So I'm gonna have to try and recant here a little bit. Mo, if I came in, the only reason I was questioning your methodology for logically thinking that Tottenham didn't have a chance. I think we got the best chance that we've had in many years because Tottenham are playing a certain way, a different way. And the fact that we're playing a different way, it might mean that we're going to maybe play into their hands. It might not. But I think it kind of removes the filter of the historical track record because we're not going to go and do the same thing. And we've got a different method, different confidence. I think that the result against Sheffield United, the way it happened, the way it panned out, you know, I think all those things give us momentum. I think Arsenal are a really strong team too. I don't expect us to win at all. I don't think we're anything. I think we're the underdogs, of course. But when everyone's writing us off, I'm kind of questioning why it's such a clear write-off because I just don't think it is. We're both on 13 out of 15 points. We're both playing. I think Tottenham are playing the better football. I think Arsenal have managed to get it done, but haven't really got out of the traps. Maybe that's because they've come up against teams that play the low block, and maybe they're going to enjoy playing against us because we're going to be pushing the boat out and trying to come at them. But I also think that Arsenal haven't played against a team as solid and interesting as Tottenham right now. So I just don't think it's this like 90% cert that Arsenal are going to beat us. And so when I hear this as a Tottenham fan, I'm going to come out with chest. I don't know why that's such a crazy thing for me to do. And I don't know why the reaction
It's not. You back your team. You believe in your football. It's whatever it is. I just don't think I think it's illogical for me. However, every team has a chance. Fulham went to the Emirates, and at the end, they got a result. So, but the way you play football now is going to play like the PSV way. PSV before playing Arsenal won 4, 1-5, 1-4-0, 4-1, 5-1.
PSV were 26 unbeaten against in different worlds, right? But Manchester United were a shin pad away from going 2-1 up, right? And Man United are terrible. With all respect, Kaz, no respect at all. But like Man United, terrible all season, and against Arsenal, they were 3 minutes away. They were 30 seconds. They were half an inch away from the entire game being different. Why is it so crazy to think that
it's not? Listen, it's not. It's nothing is crazy in football. I've seen stranger things. The thing about it is that I will be surprised if Spurs win this game. But
so no one want me to rap a bit and lift the mood. And the mad thing is, I was hoping to come in and see Lee losing his shit. I've come in and see fucking Ty sat there.
If you want Lee back, I can drive out.
And at least good. I just spoke with Lee. I'm joking. I just spoke with Lee. He's good, man. He's good. It's just sometimes, you know what? Sometimes it's what it is, man. Anyway. I'm here to tell you, Sean, that Tottenham are going to get battered, though. I do believe Tottenham are going to get battered.
Maybe we will. I don't believe we will. I think it will be. I think that there's every outcome is possible. I think if Tottenham get if I personally think it's going to be dependent on individual battles. I think that Bissouma against Odegaard is going to be dependent. I think Rice against Maddison is going to be integral, but I also think how the teams do down the wing backs or down the fullback scenarios. If Udogie and Van der Ven can find a way to curtail Saka, I personally think, I know people disagree with this en masse, but I personally think that Pedro Porro's got the match of
Zinchenko?
No, Pedro Porro on the left, on our right, has got the match of Leandro Trossard. I genuinely, I know people say I'm crazy for saying that. I think he does. I think he's a smarter player.
I hope you're right.
What I genuinely think is, I think Arsenal are going to start super fast, right? I think Arsenal are going to come out of the traps like they always do. Tottenham are a slow starting team. If Tottenham can weather the storm in the first 10, 15 minutes, I think all bets are off. And I think that Tottenham should be a little bit more respected in this fixture than I'm seeing from neutral fans. I could be wrong. We could be on the end of a 4-0 dropping. And if so, I'll wear the mud just like I did last year. And Lee obviously brought it out to remind everyone. But like,
do you know what?
I'll back my team.
Do you know what? So I was on a show with Lee earlier, and just I get where, not with everything that just happened. That was just, you know what? We're all men in it, and people that watch this, you have to remember, when people sometimes talk about how we talk over each other, what we are doing is none of us are pundits, none of us are professionally trained. Some of us maybe a little more than others, but if you go into any pub, right, where people were talking about football, they interrupt each other. Things sometimes get heated, and you have disagreements with people that you're normally cool with. Lee and Sean are cool with each other. But you know what? Me and Cal had it on Coppish once. It is what it is. We are red-blooded males. Now, from Lee's point of view, this is where I think Tottenham, when Tottenham fans say they think we should be respected more, I get how Arsenal aren't seeing it that way. And let me just explain why. That last season, Arsenal were having an amazing season. In January, when we played them, we were in a really bad form. But it was at the Etihad where they haven't won for so long, right? Now, if we look at where you are at the moment, where they are, you haven't won there when Arsenal were at their absolute worst, right? And you had Kane and you were firing. Now they are so much better, And yes, I get that you lot are in great form for Tottenham, but that's why Arsenal fans are like, I don't get it, because history tells us even when we were in the mud, they still couldn't come in and get results. So I think that's why they're looking at it this way. That's why I'm looking at it this way. And I want you to win, but I just can't.
There were loads of games last season where Arsenal like stole. I'm not going to say stole victories, but it took Arsenal long into the game to like. I remember Fulham went to Arsenal last season, and Arsenal were 2-1 winners, but they were 1-0 down, weren't they, for a long period of time? I feel like there's a lot of fixtures where Arsenal get the results but don't dominate, and
absolutely.
That's the signature of a really strong team who can find their way to get through it. But I don't think. Listen, mate. You know what? I'm backing my team.
Absolutely.
Clearly, I'm in the minority on the thought process here, and I'll be in the mud, and I'll come on wear the mud necklace, next on Tuesday or Monday, whatever. But right now,
keep that chest as well. You're right to have that chest. You're right. Listen, bro. Cass is still back in United, so you have to have that chest.
But I want to ask Sean something.
Hi, Monster.
Remove a little bit. And if you're being objective here, do you think you have a check actually winning the game? I don't know what that said.
I just said hi, Monts, but it's got a great reaction, so I might drop that more often. Just walking.
Well, I didn't hear that. Mo, what was the question?
If you remove the Spurs hat, objectively,
well up until now, please.
Oh shit,
Please.
Sorry.
Okay. If you're gonna give advice to a relative or a brother or someone that you know that's not a Spurs fan and they have $100, would you ask them to put it on Spurs winning this game at all or getting a result?
Or me?
No, not you. Who's
what in terms of like if you
objectively
odds irrelevant? No, Arsenal are the favourites to win. Of course they are. I'm not sitting here telling you that the betting markets are wrong. I just think that this idea that it's a dead cert that Tottenham are going to get beaten. I just think that there's something. There's more to it than I think that people are baking in. Like I say, listen. If I'm wrong, I probably am going to be, and I'll come back on and wear it and say, you know what, I believed in my team. I was wrong. I'll wear the mud, all that stuff. But you know what? If Tottenham do get a result, then you best believe I'm going to come back out here and point fingers at all.
100%. You have the right to do it. So you have, of course, the right to do it. Will be.
I spent a lot of money going to this game because I think that
it has nothing to do with you winning or not. I don't know what is this. Why is this relative to this? Like, why you spending money means that
no, because I would never have spent the money I spent last year or the year before that. Because I go into the game week against Arsenal when we're playing away. I go into it generally conditioned to the fact of okay, we're not getting any points this week, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be banter. There's going to be mud, all that stuff. This week, I'm nervous. I'm riddled with anxiety because I can't stop thinking about the game because I genuinely think that this week we've got a chance of getting something out of it. And that's the reason why I paid the money to go to the game, because on the small chance that we win or on the small chance that we get a draw, I want to be there just in case that thing happens so that I can lock that memory.
Do you know what, Sean? Yeah, I want to ask you something because me, Monts and Cass are actually talking about it earlier, yeah, and we were saying with this fixture, like, will Ange change things up or will he go with what he's done? As a Tottenham fan, what he's done over pre-season, the formation he's played, and the footballers he's got playing their football at the moment, do you want to go to Arsenal and play exactly the same way you've played this season, the same sort of lineup, and if you lose, you're like, cool, we die on our shield? Or do you want to see him maybe tweak a few things, bring someone else in like a skip or something? Like, how do you want to just go there and say, yo, let's play the way we've been playing this season, and if we lose, cool, we lose, I'll take it.
100%, go for it. That's what we're trying to build here. The Ange ball system. It's not going to work all the time. We haven't lost yet. I think it's going to happen. There's going to be a meltdown. I'm not going to, if we go there and we get beaten 2-1 or 3-2, or if it's a close encounter or whatever else, then I'll still be like, fair enough. We at least we went there and tried.
What if you go there and lose 3 or 4-0, which is a possibility?
If we lose 3 or 4-0, then it's going to be a wake-up call, isn't it, for where Tottenham are really at? right? But we're all living on cloud 9 right now around how quickly everyone's adopted to Ange Ball. I just personally don't believe it's going to be that convincing a win for Arsenal, to the point where I'm like, I'm not sitting here saying that Tottenham are going to win, by the way. I want to make that clear. I've never said that Tottenham are going to win. Never said that. I've just argued about the case why Tottenham are guaranteed to lose. That's all I came on saying. I know it wound up Lee, and I know Mo, you're based on your rationale why Tottenham are going to get smashed against when you were on the other channel. I'm not saying that Tottenham are going to win. I just don't think it's that obvious a scenario where Tottenham are going to get absolutely defeated. And so I'm just sitting here hoping for the best. And I think that it's not as clear cut as the neutral thinks it is. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be right.
Let me present the fact to the panel. Okay. So on the stats say that Spurs have more chances created than Arsenal. They scored more goals. They have close to the possession, still 61% to 66 Arsenal. They have better XG than Arsenal. Defensively, they conceded one more goal, but they conceded more chances than Arsenal. So
we played way more, right?
Huh?
We've had more games away from home than them. So
okay. I didn't put that in my calculations, but fine. Does that give you the confidence that you, based on the stats, that you can get a result this time? It's different. Is that what it is?
Mate, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think that Tottenham are going to win the game.
Nobody knows, Sean.
You're never going to find me. On Egal's show, I made a ballsy prediction that we're going to win 3-2. But I actually said before I did that, I said this is a shits and giggles prediction, but my head says 2-2. I'm hoping for a draw, a score draw. I'll take it all day long. I'm honestly just defending the argument that Tottenham are not going to get smashed, and that everybody who says it's a foregone conclusion that Tottenham always lose at Arsenal, I think this time around, it's not going to be that simple. It could be Tottenham haven't gone there and played with an open book before, haven't gone and thrown caution to the wind. It could be embarrassing, but I also think that this version of Tottenham is a little bit different. You got to remember as well that I think probably 5 or 6 of the first 11 that are going to play in the game haven't actually played a North London derby before. Van der Ven hasn't played a North London derby. Udogie's never played a North London derby. Porro's never played a North London derby. Vicario hasn't. Bissouma's only ever played, I think he's come on in 2 substitute appearances. Pape Sarr's played 20 minutes of a North London derby. Manos Solomon's never played a North London derby. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but there's a naivety.
You're going to get bent, like them, you're going to get bent over and there's just a little caress one, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get absolutely fucked. Like, honestly, I can't lie. Everything you're saying points to the direction why I don't believe in Tottenham. As in, it's you ain't beating them in the league there in like 12 years, since 2010 November. I really like your midfield and I think you got something great going on, but I don't think this result, whatever it is going to define Ange Posti's his whole regime that he's trying to do at Tottenham. Even if he gets spanked 4-1, if he sticks to his guns, so be it. He said in an interview earlier, I believe, or maybe it was yesterday, he said he's not going to change the way he's going to play, mate, as he likes to say, and then he's going to keep going with the way he has been playing. I just feel like if you've seen anything with Tottenham, there is still some gaps where in behind, even with Man United, we could have been up 2-3-1 at half time, but we never. Even against Burnley or even Bournemouth, the no sustained attacks, that's something I think suits Arsenal to a T. But it is a derby. Anything can happen in a derby. And that's the only thing I can give Tottenham. I just think this is going to be a high-scoring game, but not for the end that you want it to be. Especially,
I'm not expecting Tottenham to win, mate. The only argument I said, I'll say it again. I'm just defending against this argument that it's a foregone conclusion. And so that's what I'm defending.
Yeah.
How many players on this season's form, Kaz? On this season's form, forget about the historical value. On this season's form, how many players from Tottenham get into the combined 11? Just out of curiosity, in your mind.
Right now, in this current team,
on this season's form, in the previous
I'm going to say 2.
Who?
Maddison. I was good. You know what? I'm not a Declan Rice hater, and I really like Bissouma. Actually, no, I don't even like Declan Rice, to be honest. But I can't ignore what Declan Rice has done for their defense. I would say
Bissouma's the best. Statistically, Bissouma's the best DM.
Oh, that's it. That's how you say Udogie or Udogie. Is that him once?
Yeah, Udogi. Yeah.
It's better
I'd have
than
him at left back as well.
Udogi and Madison, I would put there. Everyone else, they're not far off, but
Who do you have in your midfield then, Cass? Do you have Madison and Odegaard together?
Madison, Odegaard, and what's his name, and Declan Rice, and I think Bissouma.
No Bissouma, nah.
Bissouma's the best DM, the best number 6 in the Premier League by every.
I'd have Bissouma in my team as well.
You know, I like Bissouma, but I think Declan Rice's job is so underrated, bro.
Listen, Romero over Gabriel, really? On this season's form?
Sean, can we take this just a slight
maybe
direction?
Maybe.
Bro, hold on.
I'm not having Madison.
What?
I'm not gonna lie, man. You see Arsenal's experience in the North London derby, yeah. Like, how many of those players have played in enough North London derbies, really, apart from like the Sakas and maybe the Martinellis? Just have a think, because I think Gabriel's played in a few. This will be Saliba's probably third. I think Arsenal, who are still the strong favourites being at the Emirates, I think just looking at the sample size of this season, this is not a game where man can just be writing Tottenham off. And I'm not saying you lot are writing them off, but the way everyone's talking is like Tottenham have a 10% chance of getting anything out of this game, innit?
That's my point. That's my only point. That is my point.
My humble opinion, I'm looking at Bissouma, and Bissouma looks as good as anyone in DM at the moment, it or not. Sarr looks as good as anyone right now in the midfield, and Maddison is only just a little bit behind Odegaard, in my opinion. I think that's a conversation to be had. So for me, the difference is I just think Spurs don't really have the same bite up top. Their goals are more spread, which I think is beneficial for the team in the long run. But I think Arsenal just have the extra bite, which is why I'll probably lean towards Arsenal. But Spurs still, bro, Romero and Van de Ven are forming something. Pedro Porro is everyone just forgets the pass he played for Son for his second goal before the hat-trick. If Trent done that, everyone's going mad. You know what I'm saying? Udogie is a serious wing-back. So the way I'm looking at it, if Tottenham play pragmatic or if they stick to their style and stay in the game until at least half-time, I think it's anyone's game.
Listen, all that's exactly what Monts. You just summarized my point. I'm not sitting here saying that Tottenham are going to take the points, but I'm just saying that everybody that's writing us off, it just doesn't make sense to me why it's such a consensus opinion that Tottenham have got zero chance. I agree with you 100%, Monts. That's the only point I can say why.
I can say why. I think
Arsenal are going to win. No, I still think Arsenal are going to win. But I'm saying, like, let's not act like this is one-way traffic. Like, that's the way.
It is one way. In the last 12 years, have told me it's one way. The last 12 years has told me it is a one-way traffic, and a nice scoreline at that. That's what it's told me.
And Arsenal never beat Spurs at White Hart Lane.
Wait, one sec. This ain't about what's going on at White Hart Lane. This is what's going on at the Emirates. Do you get what I mean? And I know you're trying to say, but if Arsenal could do it,
but the argument that he's making is that the same argument you could make about Tottenham now, you could have made about Arsenal until last season.
Yeah, fair enough. If that's the case, but Arsenal's team are night and day better than yours. That's the difference. Even though you've got a better team this season,
night and day
better than you.
Sean, this is no disrespect. Oh, go on, Monts. You land, Monts.
I'm saying we're talking like this is played on paper. This is a derby.
All right, let's get an Arsenal fan to talk about it then. Big up Olu. One of our members.
Yeah, I'm not a Tottenham defender still, so you man do.
Did you know what it is for me? Yeah, big up Ollie for jumping in. I just want to quickly say that for me, Sean, I respect Spurs, and I think Andrew's doing a great job so far. This is your biggest test yet, and I want Spurs to win the game. Of course I do, and I think you've got a chance. It's that typical saying of get through the first 20 minutes and see what can happen, because you can create chances. You know, Son, James Maddison, Kulusevski, you've got players that can do that. But for me, how I'm looking at it from an Arsenal perspective, which Ollie can then come into it, is that last year, they were top of the table until a month ago. They've gone into the Champions League now, and I think they can go deep in the competition if the draw goes their way. And this is a team that is meant to be competing with Man City for the title. So what I said to Casimo earlier is that if Arsenal don't win this game from an Arsenal perspective, and we switch it now, that's not a good result for Arsenal. That's a bad result, even if they draw. Mo said earlier, if they draw, he thinks it's an okay result. I said, no, Arsenal fans want to be winning this game. They'll be disappointed with a draw 100%. So I'm not trying to say that Spurs can't get a result, Sean, but if you flip it and look at what Arsenal's aspirations are, Arsenal signings have been this season, Arsenal should be going into this game saying, we are going to beat Spurs. Now, I want to see what Olu thinks on that, but that's how I'm thinking of it. If you flip it and say it's not about Spurs, you believe that you can get a result. Arsenal, they want to be winning the league and showing that they're one of the best in the country. They have to be winning this game. They have to be. That's the difference. But Olu, yeah, you're in now. You've heard me, bro. You've heard the show. You've been watching. Let's see what you got to say, man. You're muted. Your mic's not on. But yeah, that's how I see it, Sean. So I'm not disrespecting Spurs, but you got to look where Arsenal are aiming to be, what they done last year, and they want to be better.
No, I hear it.
Should I do? Let me do the super chats. King says exactly the same as last season. These men never learn. They could talk the talk, but can never walk the walk. I ain't heard that in time. Big up, man. Ray the Gaffer just sends us 199. Big up yourself. Ray says, back in my allow it. Respectfully, not trying to get onto people, remind ourselves this is good feel factors right now. Got Memphis for coming a new YouTube member. Love to see it, but it's about time, man. What's going on with you, man? This guy, do you love me or not? Steps says, to be fair, Spurs still competed in North London Derby when we were much better than we are now. So I understand the madness. Fair play. Enigma says, bro, respect to you backing your team, even if it's against the odds. Only a true fan will understand. Yeah, that of course. That's that's my life as a Man United fan right now. Hi, Cass. Yeah, big up. I love you too. Fair play, man. Memphis says, hi, Cass, please ignore Daps' lover. I told you, man. The guy loves me, man. It's all good. Big up Rose for the super sticker. And Solomon with a 10 gifted membership. So if you became a member just now, that's because, because of Solomon. Pretty much most members are because of Solomon. Kenny says it's a derby. Fans talk with chest. It is a derby, and that's the beauty of it. Big up Kenny. And then Sky King says London derby's won against Arsenal last season.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
bro. Oh, brilliant.
First of all, one more. Kenny says the chest we Arsenal fans have is because we have to win. Yeah,
fair enough. First of all, I love the spice, man. Sean, don't get rattled. Gunnerly, whatever happened.
I was never rattled, my man. I appreciate it. Yeah,
that's cool. It's cool. But listen, this is the North London derby, so that's me being nice. All right, let's get out of the way, okay? This is round 2. He's tagged me in. I'm coming to take you down. I'm messing around with you now. In reality,
go for it, man. Go for it. It's all
in reality, listen, right? As a Spurs fan, I get it. You're going to be excited.
Whoa! You're a Spurs fan?
No. I said he as a Spurs fan, I get it. He's going to be excited, right? Listen, it's North London. It's North London derby. Every single year, we are always, what's the word I'm looking for? Gassed, maybe even deluded in terms of we always think that we're going to go to Tottenham, we're going to win. They're going to come to us, they're going to win. But the reality is this, right? The thing that baffles me is that last year, what did Spurs finish? 9th, 8th and 9th, whatever it was?
8th.
Sean, 8th, right?
Yeah.
To believe there's going to be a massive swing in performance, and also like the way I've heard some Tottenham fans
wait. Is that not exactly the same as what happened the season before for you guys? Right?
No, actually, when you look at it, the season
you went from 8th to 2nd last year.
I said I'm talking about 5th from 5th to 2nd.
Play, Sean.
5th to 2nd, actually 5th to 2nd, 8th, 5th, right? Yeah, but what I'm talking about, when we finished 2nd was the first time we went to Spurs Stadium and actually won. So there wasn't no seasons when we finished 8th. Not the season we finished 5th. We lost when we finished 5th because you guys got the Champions League place, right? So to expect a massive swing, especially going from what was super negative football. Don't get me wrong, what Ange's done has been amazing, right? But it's still a very small sample size. And so this idea where you could just say, okay, there's a massive swing, all of a sudden we're going to be good enough to go to Arsenal and beat them.
That's not what I said.
I'm talking about Tottenham in general. I'm talking about Tottenham in general, right? I'm talking about Tottenham fans in general, right? Because this is the feeling. I get it. You're meant to have this feeling because this is derby. But the reality is this, right? Arsenal are still, based on last year's form, based on the fact that actually most people probably think this the better team. I'm going into this match. If Arsenal don't go in thinking they're the better team, if Arsenal go in thinking that they can actually just put Tottenham to the sword, then there's no point for them being in the title race. Because this is the kind of game, essentially,
To me, you're not in the title race. I'll be honest. I don't think you're going to come anywhere close to Manchester City. I personally have you finishing third. But listen, that's just my take. I think that City are going to canter. They're going to they're not even going to get out of third gear, and they're going to win this league by an absolute mile. I think Liverpool are going to come second. I think Arsenal will finish third. But listen, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to you what my thoughts are on where Arsenal finish. But I'm just saying that you guys can have this process in your mind that is, we absolutely have to beat Tottenham, and that's all good. Like, experts need to think that they have to win, masters have to dominate, but that doesn't always mean that the outcome is the same. Doesn't mean the outcome is the same. I'd push back, right? The argument that people say about why Tottenham shouldn't get too cool, too cocky, too confident is because we haven't challenged anyone, we haven't beaten anyone that strong. I'd say the same about you. The difference is that Tottenham have at least compellingly beaten teams this season that they should have beaten, and Arsenal haven't done it that convincingly against all the teams that they have. The one team that both of us have come up against that is supposed to be someone that was supposed to maybe be a title challenger was Manchester United, and I would argue that Tottenham more convincingly beat Man United than Arsenal did.
All right. Can I ask?
So I don't think the gap is that different.
But isn't there a body of work for Arsenal that actually determines that you could say, actually, over the past
year... Your body of work is about Arteta.
Let me finish. No, wait. Let me finish. Yes, but your body of work is 5 games. Our body of work now is a year, a season. So you can say from the body of work of Arsenal, actually, mathematically, logically, wherever you want to go with, Arsenal should be better and should be the favourites to beat Tottenham at the Emirates. Right, and so the body of work, like when Arsenal fans are talking about it, and you're saying, "Well, you haven't played well this season." Well, actually, you say, if you extrapolate last season, this season together, and the fact that Arsenal actually haven't played badly this season, we just haven't hit the same form we hit last year at certain points. And also, if you look at the start of last season, we weren't as scintillating as we were when we got to the middle of the season. This is again the problem with when people just sort of get an agenda, get a narrative, and run with it. Like, go back and watch the games.
Hold on. Are you making the argument that you should be the favourites? Because if you are, I agree with you.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm defending the argument that you won't absolutely smash us and that we haven't got a chance, which is the argument that people like Mo and people like other non-Tottenham, non-Arsenal fans have been presenting all week, that it's a given that Arsenal are going to devastate us. And I'm just sitting here defending the argument that I don't know on what basis that is founded on. And so I'm asking you to demonstrate to me an argument why Tottenham should sit here and say, we haven't got a chance. And so far, nobody, in my opinion, has represented that argument very well.
Okay, I wouldn't say Tottenham haven't got a chance because that's stupid. Anyone who says Tottenham haven't got a chance, it's not like we're playing someone from the conference, from like the League One or conference, wherever it is, right? It's not like Tottenham haven't got a chance, but the probability of you beating us or the probability of Arsenal not steamrolling you is lower because the body of work, the fact that Arsenal are more of a gel team, they've got more of a system, and yes, Ange Ball, whatever you guys want to call it, has been great. But you don't know.
When's the last time you steamrolled Spurs?
Sorry.
When's the last time you steamrolled Spurs?
Last season.
Would you call that steamroll?
We steamrolled them. So steamroll doesn't have to be 5-1, 6-1. If you watch the game,
hold up. The game at the Emirates last season was entirely. It was 1-1, and we had a red card that should never have been given against us on Emerson.
I think it was 2-1 when the red card
ridiculous decision. It was 2-1. It was a ridiculous decision. It was a ridiculous decision that completely changed the game.
All right,
until that point, we were still very much in the game.
And also at Tottenham Stadium, apart from parts of the second half, you weren't really in the game. Because I remember watching the reactions from Tottenham fans who were saying, actually, this is the first time.
Different Tottenham team, different Tottenham system, different manager, different Tottenham players. We've changed like 80% of our first team since that game happened.
But the point I'm trying to make is this, right? You still haven't seen how this team will handle the pressure of going to the Emirates.
Right. But that's not an argument to say that Tottenham are out of the game. Again, I'm asking you to make a convincing argument where Tottenham haven't got a chance. I think that you guys are the favourites. I expect you to win. I'm not arguing against that. If you guys win 1-0, like that's not Sean Butler in the mud. That's not Spurs talk show in the mud. It's if Tottenham get absolutely steamrolled 5-0, then maybe I'm in the mud. But you're expected to win. If Tottenham come out of that 3-2 losers or 2-2, like Arsenal were in the mud. You guys are in the mud because you guys are making this argument that Tottenham have got zero chance. And I'm saying it's bonkers. And none of you have convinced me that there's this narrative that Tottenham don't have a chance in this game.
So what's your percentage then that you think you're going to get a result, not the result, a result in percentage?
If someone was to offer me, I don't know what the odds are. I haven't looked yet. I don't know if I can talk about betting.
You have to spell out of 100 to break it down.
Is it 20%, 30% in your actual eyes? If you know what I mean.
I know you're a numbers man, Sean.
I say we're 20% chance of winning. I'll say we're 38% chance of a draw. I think the Arsenal win is 58%, 60%, something like that.
See, I would say 70% Arsenal win.
But if you're talking about chances of Arsenal smashing us like 3-4-0, I think that's a 10% chance, a 5% chance.
I can't lie.
What,
for me, Olu, there is a 50% chance you'll be 2-0 up at halftime. There was a 20% extra chance that you just beat them in general. And then I think there's a 5% chance Tottenham win, and the rest is a draw, like a 2-2.
Yeah, listen, I look at this way. I say 70% chance Arsenal win that game. Now, whether you want to say smash or how to win, like that's irrelevant. All that matters at the end of the game is who's got the points on the board, right? That's for me. That's the thing, right? I look at it this way, right? I say the same probability is like me going to Liverpool when we go to Liverpool, and I say the reality is that I always think in Anfield, Arsenal got like a 30% chance of, 70% chance of losing, because I know what happens when we go to Anfield, and this is the same thing that I think Spurs fans should have. Temper that. Be excited, but temper that excitement in terms of thinking that, and maybe Sean, like you've explained, you're not feeling that way. So maybe I'm approaching it slightly differently in terms of what I've heard in comparison to what you're saying, but temper that enthusiasm in terms of be excited for the game, but understand what you're doing. In the same way, when we go to White Hart Lane, depending on the form, I'll look at it and say, is there a high chance, or actually is it more of a 50-50, or are Spurs more likely to beat us? And I think right now what's happened is that this whole Ange ball, this whole feeling of what Ange is doing, etc., has made Spurs fans a little bit deluded in terms of seeing their team and the expectations in comparison to where they currently are. This is 5 games of a manager trying to change the system.
Yeah, but at the same time,
you're expecting that to go and change things.
5 games that have shown a completely new system. It's 5 games that have proven that you've got great players that are playing to the best. If you look at the statistical, I don't care if you guys like stats or not, but if you're trying to make an empirical argument as to why something could or couldn't happen, you need to base it on something that's measurable and on the basis of where our DMs are playing relative to each other, where our number 10s are playing relative to each other, where our left backs and right backs are playing relative to each other on all of the metrics that matter, like progressive carries or taking players on or being able to defend against people that are dribbling at you. Tottenham's players win 80% of the time on all of those metrics. Right, when Kaz says that there's a 5% chance of Tottenham winning, he's saying that's a 1 in 20 chance of Tottenham winning. I'm saying, Kaz, you're deluded. I hope that you are wrong. I hope you are also wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm going to wear it. But I can't wait. I cannot wait because I'm going to be praying to the gods that the gods come down and shine. So that I don't care about the 3 points. I care more about the right to come on this show next week. One question.
Sean, you can come on anytime you want, by the way. You don't have to. Anytime.
Right.
I love you all. I love you all.
Based on this season alone, Sean, as well. Based on this season alone, who has been better this season? Tottenham or Arsenal?
No, in realness, Tottenham have been more exciting.
Tottenham. No. I've asked the question. Who has been better in the Premier League?
Okay, cool.
Can I answer this?
Defensively,
I did. You know what? Mons asked the question. Can we not duel? Just answer one team.
All right. I'll say this. I'll say this. Arsenal have been more controlled in their games, but Spurs have been looked more exciting.
So you're doing.
I'm not. I have to.
Answer the question.
None of you have made a convincing argument apart from. None of you have made any convincing argument apart from Tottenham always lose at Arsenal.
Sean,
to explain why Tottenham are going to get.
Sean, let me ask you a question. Wait. Let me ask one question. Just one. Let me ask one question. Sean,
no one answered the question.
Let me ask Sean a question.
Yeah, you know what, Mons, you're right, bro. No one has made a single compelling argument as to why Arsenal are going to lose apart from it's Spurs.
Sean, Sean, let me ask you a question, please.
Argument.
Sean,
get more creative with your compelling rationale.
Sean, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one question, right? And this is on the fullbacks, right? Now, in the 5 games you have played, how many times have the opposition wingers actually isolated your fullbacks one-on-one and have had the quality to do so?
Fascinating you say that. I looked at some stats earlier. If you look at the amount of times that the Arsenal fullbacks, Ben White and Zinchenko combined, have managed to handle players that are dribbling at them, they have a combined total of 3 out of 21. Could be wrong on the specifics.
I saw that.
A crazy tiny amount that you guys have handled players that dribble at them, whereas Tottenham have handled the same thing 65% of the time. Udogie has handled it like 60% of the time, and Porro has done it more often. So you guys are more vulnerable at tricky dribblers running at your fullbacks than Tottenham are. But once again, stats don't seem to factor into your mindset because it's all about Tottenham at Arsenal. It's a given.
It's such an easy question.
Wait, can I ask you a simple question?
Can we answer the question then?
Yeah.
But can we
the
answer his question?
The question I asked was, how many times has Udogie or Porro squared up against the quality of winger on a one-on-one basis this season so far?
What, of Saka or Martinelli /
quality? Quality, yes.
You can only play what's in front of you, bro.
Ollie, you can only play wait, you, so you got to see them actually have that test.
So the point I'm trying to make
no, we haven't. Therefore, we're going to lose. I don't know.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. My point is this: when you take those stats and you don't take the context of what is the quality of opposition they're playing against, it looks different, right? Because if they're going, for example,
I'm not making the argument that Tottenham are going to.
Can I finish? Can I just finish your point?
Why Tottenham are going to lose, and you haven't.
I am making my point. I'm making my point. I am saying to you, right? It's very different to play against a Burnley or to play against that's my dog, or to play against any of the other teams than it is to play against Arsenal, right? And we know the quality of Saka and Trossard now.
You know what I can tell you though, bro? You know what I can tell you, mate? Is that those stats about how bad is gone, but those stats about how bad Arsenal's fullbacks have been against people dribbling at them.
We know it, Sean. We know it. Every time Man United play against them, Ben White gets killed by Rashford, and actually, if Anthony had a bit of zip about him, he gets past Zinchenko.
Those stats are consistent against every team that Arsenal have played, and Arsenal haven't played any teams that are particularly strong either, with the exception of United. So, you can only play what's in front of you. Tottenham have handled what's in front of them defensively in that scenario.
Can I have two pence here? You can see the 2 against Burnley, so boy, it is what it is, isn't it? I'm just going to say this. Defensively,
we were 5-1 up.
Cass, don't jinx us.
Defensively, Arsenal look better than Tottenham. Attacking-wise, Tottenham have looked better than Arsenal in parts this season. But this is the same thing, right? Wait, why are you laughing at? I'm so confused. What?
You said my dog's called win.
Someone said was the dog me because I did
that's what I said.
Yeah,
no, my part is, you know what this goes back to, yeah? This goes back to when I thought I was going to go to Anfield and get a good win. Because when Man United were playing better than Liverpool before we faced them and got panned 7-0, we were on a run. We were decent. We were good. You know, I thought the style that we played could definitely counter the way Liverpool played. But at the end of the day, when it goes into a derby match, more chance or less, Man United probably have a very, very low percentage, regardless of how good they are, to go to Anfield, no matter how crap Liverpool may be, and get a win. Same way when it comes to Arsenal, who haven't won at the Emirates in 12 years, who are not defensively actually that sound, and Andy wants to play the way he wants to play. Fair play. But to go to the Arsenal, that's why I give it a low percentage.
That's fine. But have you made an argument that is? Has any of you made an argument? Because I feel like maybe I'm.
Hold on, Sean. You actually accused all of us to not having an argument about why Spurs we're not giving Spurs a decent chance, right? But we keep telling you, but you just want to ignore what we say and just keep the narrative in your head as you want. Literally, all of us, let me finish. All of us, each and every single one of us, the first reason we said is that you are going to the Emirates. This is a massive factor. Hold on. So exactly, you wanna? Sorry, Monts. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you do the thing. I just want to add because he's accusing.
I've acknowledged that argument. I've acknowledged that part.
No, you didn't, because you are telling us you're not convinced about this.
No, I've said the only part of your argument that you've made that I acknowledge is the historical value of Tottenham at the Emirates. Apart from that, there's nothing.
And that's a big thing.
Sean, what it is, Sean, what I think it is, you're getting confused, right? Go on, Mo. I was going to say...
I'm sorry, Ty, because the response to that, if anybody tell me here, if Liverpool are in a terrible place, and you tell me I'm gonna go to the Anfield, and I tell him, but you're going to the Anfield, but Liverpool are bad, but like historically at Anfield they are good. That's a decent enough argument.
No, but that's it. But that is your entire argument. That's your argument.
No, that's number. No. Hold on. The fact about it. I'm sorry. The fact about it is that we tried to talk to you about your defense, but you're not having it. It's your opinion, Sean. But don't accuse us that we don't have arguments.
Argument. Explain to me.
Sorry, Sean.
No, Sean. What I think is, Sean. Do you know what, Sean? Sean, think how many years.
Sean, sorry, Ty. The problem is, Sean, we are.
All you said to me, Mo, is you said to me, the reason why Tottenham are going to lose is, and this is going back, what were we on? 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Remember, you cut me off when I'm talking. Remember that.
1 hour and 1 minute in. We started this 1 minute in. I said to you, Mo, explain to me the rationale why Tottenham are going to lose, because I heard what you said on the football terrace, and you said 3 reasons. One is Tottenham going to the Emirates, and I said, okay, rationale, fine. 2 is Tottenham's defense is going to get split open. Correct.
So why is that? Why is that a wild take? Let me respond to you. Let me respond to you. Why is that? Why is that a wild take from? Why is that a wild take from me?
Oh, you want to do
explained it? You just
no. I tried to explain it. You just didn't want to believe it.
You haven't explained why.
Wait. All right, let me do why then. If you know why I think he's right in that sense. Let's do a tactical thing then. If you're not going to change the way you want to play, your fullback play inverted, and your fullbacks play quite high up and inverted. So if Angelo wanted to play like that, that's why there'll be a lot of gaps in behind. They might stretch your midfield, meaning there's a little bit more joy. The only thing you said is about depending on your type of winger. Kulusevski's not a drive at the fullback type winger. So him cutting inside, because you said yourself, he's very one-dimensional. Kind of suits Zinchenko, doesn't it? And then on the left, who knows what you're going to have on the left? It might be Solomon. That's where you might get a bit of joy. But if you've got a lot of high fullbacks, up high and wide, look what PSV tried to do. They tried to play football against Arsenal. I'm not saying you're PSV exactly, and you are a better team than PSV.
Is that the argument?
No. But if we talk about styles making fights, Arsenal beat you day and night because of the way they play with their wingers. And they will drive inside and get you over and over again, because that's what they do. They recycle the ball over and over and over.
If we get the ball back, if we can win the transition, then what happens? And what happened?
No, on transition, you can definitely get Arsenal. I think Man United showed on transition you can definitely do so. But I don't, for me,
right? So is it that clear? Is it that clear at Division of Labour?
For me, before months goes, and obviously the super chat, I want to say this: I personally, as a neutral fan of this, don't believe in your attack.
Okay, we got more. We got a different version of attack. We got Brennan Johnson, the second fastest player in the Premier League. Is he not going to be
Dan James? What? It's Brennan Johnson just because he's fast. All right.
Is that not an option? Is that not a weapon?
I want you to convince me why Tottenham will beat them. I need them to convince me.
I'm not. Once again, you're misrepresenting my stake in this debate. It's not my job to convince you why we're going to beat.
But you said 10%.
I've come onto this show asking why it is, for logical rationales, for people like Mo, and not just Mo. I love Mo to pieces. I love him. He's a very brilliant content creator. But there's a million other people like him that say that Tottenham have got absolutely zero chance. And I'm saying, explain why. And you know what? All I'm hearing is,
by the way, don't say that I said you have no chance. Okay, and the next you are actually making a false statement. You are making a false statement, because when my prediction on the football terrace, which is your evidence, is 2-1, that means you have a chance. I didn't go on the football terrace and say, I said your defense and I said your defense. You are. I literally. I'm sorry, guys. I literally said your defense, and I'm saying it here again. The way your manager is admitted that he wants to play, your defense going against Saka, Jesus, Trossard is gonna get, in my opinion, torn apart.
Martinelli's fit, by the way.
And hold on, Sean. If they don't, and I always say that. Listen, I don't read the future. If they don't, it will be a surprise. And I claim here on this show, that any neutral fan or any not Spurs or an Arsenal fan okay, most of them will think like me because we are rational and you are irrational.
I'm not saying you're wrong because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying everybody that thinks that I'm a mug, I'm defending my team with chest. I'm not saying that they're wrong.
I never said that. Yeah.
Nobody has convinced me with a compelling argument as to why it is that Tottenham are going to get ripped apart and going to get dominated the way that everybody else.
I think this is what I want to say in 30 seconds. Right? I think you're getting. I think you're going overboard. What you're thinking about is battered. Yeah. What happened?
Monster's fighting for his life, trying to get a word in.
My life, man.
All right, we'll do 30 seconds back to back. We're down below.
We'll go back to down below. Me and you are just here, innit? Just enjoying life. Listen,
I'm on mute.
There's also
I think,
we got Sean, man.
Oh yeah, go on. No, just go.
We both done it.
Just go.
Get this imposter out with. Oh, good.
So what I was saying is, I'm joking.
Okay, can one of you really go? Can Ty or Mon, someone really
go? I'll go after you.
You, Ty.
All right, cool. Do I go?
Yes, Mon.
I don't want to go anymore, if I'm honest.
Oh my! Let's do a commercial.
Now, do you know what? Okay, so basically, basically, Sean, I think you're getting confused, right, with what we're all on the panel, right, and we all think Arsenal are going to win this game. That's what we think. You said that you think Arsenal should be winning this game, right? I came on and said Arsenal's aspirations. I put my argument out there. Arsenal's aspirations are where they should be. They should be going out there and having to win this game. They have to win this game for me, and I think they're a better team than you guys. I think their defense is better in terms of the centre backs. Yes, I'll put Udogie in over Zinchenko. I do like Basuma and Maddison. I think you can get half chances. However, I do think you'll get a bit overwhelmed at times. And I think how it was with Man United versus Arsenal, once they keep getting that cycling of the ball, like Cass said, they will just score some goals. And I think what you're getting confused is, and what Mo's probably trying to break down in short, is that we think you're going to lose the game. We don't all think you're going to get battered, but you're running on the point that it's like, how are we justifying that you're going to get battered? The point is, it doesn't matter getting battered. It's about you're going to lose. And we just think whether you lose 2-1, 2-0 or 3-2, we think you're going to lose the game. And whether you lose 4-0 or 2-1, it doesn't matter because the bottom line is Arsenal get the 3 points. And that's all he cares about. So for me, it's just, you're going to lose the game. I think you've got a little bit of a chance, but come on, we're being honest. All of us as a panel think Arsenal at home, they're going for the title. They've got a couple of players back, Jesus back. They should be beating you at home. And if they don't, like you said, Sean, there's big question marks you need to ask about Arsenal because the pressure's on them to win the game. 100%, and that's how I think you should take it.
All right, fair enough, Ty. Yeah, spot on. Fair enough.
Sean. Yeah. I think one other stat. Sean,
hour and 15 minutes.
Sean, one other stat we need to look at as well. I believe Arsenal's home record this season with conceding goals. They're struggling to keep a few clean sheets at the Emirates. Do you reckon that's something you guys can exploit? Because everyone wants to talk about stats and history and how you guys aren't good at the Emirates, but Arsenal's clean sheet record at the Emirates has been a bit iffy. Is that something you guys can exploit?
I think there's going to be. I think both teams. I think if you're a betting man, and I am a betting man, I'm a ridiculous betting man, and I know Ty is as well. Like I think the obvious bet is that both teams score. I just don't know how many goes in each net.
Both teams score Arsenal to win. That's what I would have gone to. But
so what about?
Okay, you know what, Sean? If you go down 1-0,
let me ask this because it's the Emirates thing, right? How many goals have you conceded away from home this season to teams that don't have great attacks? Or do have great attacks or anything? You conceded 2 at Brentford, 2 at Burnley. I think you conceded 1 away to Fulham. And I think you did keep a clean sheet against
Fulham was our B team. Burnley, we were 5-1 up when we conceded the second goal. So I'm not sure that's as relevant a thing. The Brentford game was the very first game under Ange Ball. So I think that's also a bit of an anomaly.
Yeah, what's not fair play. That's valid. That's
actually They've only conceded one more goal than Arsenal.
But if you're going to talk about Arsenal's home form, then talk also on their away record as well. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and also, Tottenham, by the way, Tottenham have scored 13 goals this season, and Arsenal have scored 9. So why does everyone act like Tottenham's attack is meaty? When I'm just saying, if you combine Tottenham's 13 goals, which is 4 more than Arsenal's goals, I'm just talking stats here. And we're talking, I mean, we're also seeing that Arsenal...
And most of those goals came away from home as well, by the way.
And Arsenal's Emirates record defensively isn't as good as their away record. Yeah.
But, wait.
Tottenham statistically this season are actually more dangerous going forward than Arsenal. I've already said, I think Arsenal, the way Arsenal are being a lot more controlled.
We scored 9 goals away from home in 3 games.
However, I feel like with Arsenal, this new tweak that Arteta's doing, whether it's to accompany Havertz or not, I don't know what it is, but it does hurt the wingers. For me, Martinelli and Saka still haven't got going yet. They've not been terrible, but they haven't exactly got going. So when my friend up here is saying, "Oh, when have Udogie and Porro come up against wingers of the caliber of Martinelli and Saka?" They haven't really been at the races this season. Let's be real. They haven't been. They haven't. Whether you like it or not, they haven't hit the heights that they've hit this season. So and Tottenham have been more dangerous going forward. There are arguments that do favor Tottenham, but the most important stat is that it is the what's the word that begins with H? What's the word that begins with H?
Home.
No, heritage. Sorry, there is that heritage in terms of the fact that they don't beat you guys, they don't win. So it is a psychological, which I think that's superior. But there are stats that suggest that Spurs can be a lot more dangerous than you guys are suggesting.
All right, scored 9 goals away from home in 3 games. That's a relevant factor.
All right, couple of things. One, I'll be very quick. One, the first time we had a full back 4 was when we played Man United. We conceded 1 goal. Okay, the second goal could have happened. It didn't happen because Gabriel's quick thinking. So really, since we went to our actual back 4, where it wasn't messing around with putting Partey right back, actually Arsenal really conceded 1 goal since then, right? Since Raya's come in, we haven't conceded any goals in actually. So actually, on that small sample size of 3 games, it's 1 goal in 3 games. In going to the actual back 4 that we all know and love in terms of Arsenal fans, and then bringing in Raya as well. So in reality, you're not playing against a team which has conceded the amount of goals beforehand. And again, I'm simplifying it. Football doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. I'm just sort of stirring the pot like Mons is saying. But I'm just saying that actually, if you're looking at stats, you're looking at sort of evidence and outliers, the reality is that actually you would go, what is recent? And what is recent is that actually Arsenal against Everton, and Everton were toothless and absolutely useless and didn't want to attack. And against PSV were more dangerous. Arsenal haven't conceded, right? So, and then you take also Tottenham's goals they scored, the 9 goals they scored away from home. What is the quality of opposition they've played against, and can they replicate that going to a team which plays with much better quality? And even the things like when you mentioned the sort of the wing backs who have been dribbled past in terms of Arsenal, the reality is that Arsenal don't defend one-on-one. They defend 2-on-1. So you go past Ben White, you're dealing with Saliba. You go past Zinchenko, you're dealing with Gabriel. It's a system. It's not a one-on-one game. The difference is that Arsenal, when they attack, they want to isolate your left back or right back one-on-one. That is the mentality they want to get to. And if they don't, they're going to keep recycling the ball until they get to that point. So that's why I'm asking the question of, has Udogie been in a situation where that is the case? Has Porro this season
find out? It's a great question. It's a great question.
And the fluidity of Arsenal's attack is something that Tottenham haven't faced yet. So when you ask for evidence, this is the evidence I'm sort of putting.
But all of those questions you're asking, you could ask the exact same on the reverse. When was the last time Arsenal were challenged with the fluidity of Tottenham's attack? When was the last time that Tottenham faced, or any person in the Tottenham team, 6 of them haven't played Arsenal before? So this idea of heritage that Mons puts out, like, it might be something that's a negative in that these guys aren't prepared for the ferocity of a North London derby. It could also be a positive in that these guys are not part of that historical track record, right? Of struggling there. So there's a million variables. All I'm saying is, you guys have got your convictions. You think that Tottenham are going to get turned over. Maybe you're right. I think you're more likely to be right than I am. I'm going to back my team. I personally haven't heard a really convicting argument, a conviction-based argument as to why Tottenham are going to get smashed on any level. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that you're wrong. I hope that I'm right. We'll find out on Sunday. And on Monday, if you guys will have me, I'll come back on Monday regardless. If we win 5-0 or lose 5-0, I'll come back on and face my face the
before we go on, I have to do these super chats.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay, Memphis Depay saying on historical data, Arsenal will batter Spurs. Sean doesn't believe in history, of course. Gunnar King 14 said Gunnar King, big up Gunnar King. He said Arsenal in our last 14 London derbies played 14, won 11, drawn 3, lost none. It's a history lesson. It's turning into history. Can lie. From AB15 is saying North London derby is always fire, got people going crazy. That's absolutely true here on every other show as well. Arnie is saying same that Spurs fans said when they got Conte last year. You never learn.
We'll see.
We'll see. I think we'll see. Toon Triv is saying Garajo wrote all over that one. I see both teams scoring, but maybe we'll see. Memphis Depay again. It's saying Arsenal gets knocked out, bigger fish to fry. They bottled the league second, bigger than a trophy. Now they aren't as good as last year. It's controlled excuses FC. By the way, he's talking about the Arsenal people. He's just saying facts. He's just saying facts.
Sorry, hold up.
Okay, I don't want to get on it.
Who said bigger fish to fry? Was it Arteta or was it a fan?
No, that was a thing last season. Come on, man. Don't do that.
Who said it? I'm asking a question. Who said it?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let me finish this because we're never gonna finish here. Hybrid Ultra saying this Spurs fan that put seven Spurs players in the combined 11 guarantee you he will give all the chest and predict a draw. The cycle of life. They never learn. A lot of Arsenal fans here are back in their team, of course. Nelson is saying Tottenham play teams that are not sitting deep, so that's why the exciting teams are sitting deep against Arsenal. Both teams play different styles. PSV is the only team that did not sit deep and see the result. My answer to that, very simple. Go check the position stats.
Spurs is that not also, sorry, just on that, I don't know who's better, PSV or Burnley, but Burnley also played non-sitting up against Tottenham, and we smashed them 5. We should have been 5-1, but we could see one late on. So again, like, it's a relevant point. It's a relevant point, but it doesn't mean that because something has happened that the opposite will also transpire in that regard. Like, that's just saying because A is true, B is also false. It doesn't make sense to me. It's a relevant variable, but it doesn't equal an outcome. Come on, let's figure it out.
Saying Sunderland, PSV. The PSV fan is saying Bar City, Arsenal have conceded the least goals and the XGs against them this season. Arsenal are much better than Tottenham, in my honest opinion. I think they win comfortably. He's a neutral fan. Maybe. Yeah, I think O'Malley is saying, curious if the Spurs fans feel the same way about Liverpool, because at this time, Arsenal are better than Liverpool.
No, I think that I've said it. I said already. I personally think at this stage of the season, my predicted table, finishing table is different 2 months ago as it was a month ago, and it's currently a little bit different now. And when the sample size grows, I think you should have the flexibility of thought to be able to adapt. And I personally think that Liverpool are playing well enough and getting things done. I think they've got a settled team with their incredible midfield reshuffle. I think that they're going to finish second. I think City are going to win it by a canter, and I think Liverpool second. I think Arsenal third, and then 4th to 8th is pretty much anyone's guess between Tottenham, Brighton, Man United, Chelsea, and the rest of them. So Villa.
Arnie saying this person Mo did say 2-1, and you jumped on him saying he did said he'd better you. Don't worry about it. Like, I did say 2-1. Maybe Sean just misunderstood what I said, but I literally said they didn't have a chance. I didn't say they're gonna batter them or anything. Explain the new tweak.
Semantics, mate. The result you might have said one thing, but the way I interpreted what I've heard from you, not just on the show on the Football Terrace, but this week, I've heard you say essentially that Tottenham have not got a chance.
You're a fan. You watch me on every show. I like it.
I watch you all the time, mate. I watch all of you. I work from home. Every single hour of the day, I have in the corner of my screen some stream of some kind. Mo, you are on a lot of them. I've heard your take on Tottenham this week, and your general take on Tottenham is that we don't have a chance. Is that an unreasonable solution? Is that an unreasonable?
No. I literally said that I would put all my money on Arsenal winning the game.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So it doesn't matter whether you said it was 2-1 or 10-0. You said Tottenham haven't got a chance, which is
no. You said that they're gonna. Okay, I'm not gonna argue this again, Sean. I am not gonna argue this again, Sean. I'm not gonna argue.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, but that's what I based it on. That's what I based my.
You're saying it as a fact. Whatever.
Call him out, bro. Sean, call him out.
You are paying their good money.
I have called him out all fucking stream.
Call him out. Mo is everything to blame on the stream today.
I love Mo. I love him to pieces. I asked him before the stream started. I said, Mo, can you come on my channel this week? He said yes. And then 10 seconds later, I'm like, right, Mo, about that Tottenham take of yours. Let's go through it.
Super chat. We missed the previous super chat. It wasn't read out. Yeah, it wasn't read out.
Cass, can you bring up that last super chat before Ahmed Suleiman's super chat, please? Can you go back and start?
Ahmed, this one?
No, before that. There was one before that. Can you just start it, please, for me? Because I think
they went on there like roundabout again, and
yeah.
Before level 33.
By the time I do that, can you just start it again, Cass? Sorry. Ahmed Suleiman is saying, serious question. So what's the conversation like if Tottenham win? Arsenal not league contenders, Spurs league contenders. I'm gonna come to that question because I think that's a very decent question to ask. It's a very good question. Rishi is saying I think Maddison is important, but Rice has him. I think it's the other. I think Maddison will have to stop Rice from dictating the game.
It's the one about the tweaking system.
I found it. I've done it. I've got it. I found it.
I can't see it.
Okay.
It's here. I'll pull it up. Oh.
Here you go. Hybrid Auto, explain the new tweak. The system is the same. What the F? What?
What's he talking about?
He's talking about Arsenal. When I said there's a slight tweak that Arteta's made since Havertz has come into the side, that's what that's my opinion. From what I've seen, Arsenal's system is slightly altered, where the wingers are a bit further forward and there's less space for them to attack their wing backs 1v1. Therefore, the centre mids like Odegaard are able to get a little bit more joy centrally, as opposed to the wingers being more effective in the wide areas, and Arsenal being a lot more controlled as opposed to free flowing in transition.
And I'll add to it as well, actually, because I think you're correct. There is a tweak in the system in the sense that last year I said to Daps throughout the season that one of the things that Arsenal were doing was hitting and attacking with the wings a lot, right? And Arsenal still want to get to that one-on-one sort of position. I think Arteta's probably has in mind that one-on-one is where Arsenal are the most dangerous. But actually, what you're seeing more, similar to what you saw Man City last year, is patience. Arsenal last year at full form were 100 miles an hour. I think this year, actually, what you're seeing is that there's a pulling back in terms of recycle the ball. Don't always have to get to Saka and to go one-on-one. Pass it through the midfield. And I think also losing Xhaka as well, because Xhaka's runs behind the defense on the left-hand side has changed essentially the way we approach the game. So there has been little tweaks in the system. And I think that Arteta is learning from the mistakes he had last year in terms of how do you control the game more without having to batter teams through it, basically.
Yeah, let me finish this quickly. Umeli is saying, you did answer the question, will you have chest like this when you play Liverpool? Sean, it's a question for you.
You did answer the question, will you have chest like this when you play Liverpool?
If you're playing Liverpool at Anfield tomorrow, will you have the same chest about the game?
I'm not sure. I feel like maybe I really apologize if I've come across in a really weird way tonight, because in my mind, I don't feel like I'm chesting that Tottenham are going to win.
I don't think you have either. You just believe your team can get a result. You haven't come up with saying you're going to win.
Yeah, you never did. I agree.
Yeah, I feel like I must have come across in a really strange way.
No. You haven't said that you're going to win. So me and Mohi,
stop being an attention seeker, mate. Yeah,
right? Yeah, said that.
Okay, Gunner King.
You asked me on Friday late at night. Friday night, man.
Big up Gunner King for being a member for sure. Big up Gunner King for supporting the channel. Your support to the channel is very important for us to keep going. Hit that like button. 900 people here. Get me to 450 likes, guys. The like button look like this underneath your live chat.
By the way, I do think that Tottenham will get a result against Liverpool at home.
He answered the question,
which is coming up next week.
Delusion will be cured. Come on, you Gunners, because it's your home.
Mm-hmm. I was rooting for you. Home.
Also, I forgot. There's another tweak in the Arsenal system. I forgot. We're playing 45 formations now. I think the number keeps going up each week. So
okay. We done or are we
Sorry.
going on?
That was a great preview. I'm not even gonna lie.
No. Last thing before we turn it off. Listen, Arsenal. I sat down on the terrace. If you're watching I said that. I said Arsenal. I asked a genuine question. Arsenal last year were not a title contender. They coming from 5th the year before, but they showed the good form. And then people at game week 7, 10, they said, "Oh, this Arsenal team look good. Can they go and challenge?" If Spurs win, it's a hypothetical question. If they win against them, which is something they haven't done for 13 years, are we taking them seriously? I'm not saying to get close to Man City, but to be 2nd or 3rd or something, to be in the conversation with that lot, with Arsenal and Liverpool. Are we doing that or not? Or we're not allowed
yet
to?
For me.
I can't say yes because I think Spurs' depth is going to be a problem, essentially, right? Everyone has said it. If one injury to Maddison, if one injury to Basuma, all of a sudden you're starting to look and say, actually, where can they find that creativity? Because I think right now the bulk of the creativity for Spurs is coming through Basuma and Maddison, with the front three doing what they're doing. You take those two out, we need to see what will happen, right? So this team sort of is built around these specific players, and this is a marathon or a sprint. And to be fair, I mean, Arsenal found that out last year. And I think that's going to be the same thing for Spurs. So that's why I don't think even if they win, they can be title challengers. I think there's still another season of building and getting new players and getting embedded into the system for Spurs to become.
But you didn't have any depth last year. So why did Arsenal fan have the right to say that in October?
Because
we are going to go and challenge for this league. Why are we giving
we kept winning? Because we kept winning. That's the difference. We kept winning. The more you keep winning, the more it starts to radiate through the team, right? So you're talking about October, you're talking about December, you're talking about January, right? That's when the noise starts getting louder and louder and louder.
October.
Yeah, but again, that's pre-World Cup. But that's pre-World Cup, and that was because everyone kept saying, "Well, this is the moment Arsenal going to lose," and then we went through every single challenge, right? I've got photographic memory.
So I remember this is the moment Spurs are going to lose.
So I think if
the whole world is saying that, Olo, this is
sure.
a lot. Cass use the phrase. This is the slap that Spurs are going to be like. Yeah, I think we need to change the way we play some games. But if they go and win this game,
then they've got to beat Liverpool next. And if they beat Liverpool next, then you can start having a question. But again, with Arsenal last year, we have to treat Spurs the same way we treated Arsenal last year. What everyone was saying, basically, they're coming up to a period of time where they'll be tested. Will they get through the test? If you don't hold that same barometer in measuring Spurs this year as you measured Arsenal last year, or as you measure any other team in the next couple of years, you're just basically doing an agenda, for lack of a better term, right? So for me, and I think for everyone here, we need to hold the same thing we held Arsenal to last year. Go through the tough games and see where you come out from that. And if for example, they lose the next two games, they're nowhere near the title race. If they win, you can start saying,
I just think it's a spade. No offense. Like Sean, I think you guys are on the right track. I think Ange speaks well. I think he's a great guy for you lot, and it suits the club well. But I just think Spurs are capped. I want to forget this title talk if Spurs even beat Arsenal or Spurs beat Liverpool. It's not going to be happening. I think Spurs' limit is to finish in the top 4. And if they do that, it's a great season. I think what happens is they start well and people start then looking what they've done with Arsenal last year. Arsenal's aim was not to win the league last year, but they put themselves in that position. Then all of a sudden, if they didn't win the league, it was a bad season. But at the start of the season, if they got top 4, that was their expectation. So Spurs need to just maintain themselves and get their expectations of getting top 4. And if they beat Arsenal this week and beat Liverpool, I do not ever put them in title contention. At the end of the day, top 4 is their limit. I think it's capped for the squad they've got right now, but that would still be a success for Ange and what they're trying to do this season. And I think Sean would respect that as well. I don't think Sean would say if they beat Arsenal this week, Mo, and they go and beat Liverpool next week, they are in a title race. I think Sean clearly said earlier, City walk the league. And even if they won them 2 games, he is not putting them in title contention. Top 4 is their limit, and that's their aim, and that's what they're going for. Sean, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Not at all, mate. No, I completely agree. Yeah, Tottenham are never going to. Doesn't matter what happens against Arsenal.
Yeah. Sean, your slogan is "Dare to Dream." Come on, dare to dream.
All right, can we just This game needs to happen. By the way, Arsenal, you must after this.
Yeah. I feel like they've got away with it, Mon. They've got away with it, bro. Like everyone's talking about Arsenal have to win. Like, where's the
Arsenal have to. The little bro-in that's going on to Spurs.
I know.
Listen, as a neutral, I can't wait.
If Tottenham, like the reason I, like I said at the start, of the show, the reason why I paid as much money as I have is because just on the off chance that something magical happens, and if it does, it's going to be the most memorable day in my life, apart from Monday night when I come on this show and I start holding people accountable. But if we lose, it was always expected. It's not a problem. It's a free hit to Tottenham. It's a free hit, not you, Monts. You've been supportive, bro. You've been supportive.
I hope you didn't buy those tickets on credit, because the bailiff's gonna be coming for your money on Monday morning, man. They're gonna be coming and knocking your door, because it's gonna be real shaky for you when you're scared. It's gonna be real shaky for you.
You know when Foster goes, I love a 1-0 me. They're gonna go home fuming. Yeah, man.
For the good of the content, Spurs have to win.
Have to.
We're all Spurs fans deep down, to be fair.
For the good, to be honest, for the good of the content, they have to win. Gunnar King.
Wait. So did you just say you're all Spurs fans? I knew it. Man United fans, just Spurs fans.
What? You think us want Arsenal to win? Ollie, no, you must be mad.
Ty, I knew you were a Spurs fan. And basically what happens is that you got pumped and basically became a United fan.
End stream.
Ollie, you know that no Man United fan is winning Arsenal to win.
Last three super chats right here. Gunnar King saying Arsenal, Liverpool past the patch sittings with the Spurs, with the chicken. Of course. Clinton Mark, your super chat somehow went somewhere, but Clinton Mark, one of our members, he's saying Arsenal faced Man City fluid attack. Spurs conceded average 13 shots per game this season. If we get anything close to that, we will wipe the floor with them. Not for Spurs fans. They don't believe that. Hybrid Alto saying we must win. We will put some respect on us when we do.
No, you just do what you should do. No,
you do what you should do. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Tomorrow morning, 10:30 or 11?
No, 11:15 tomorrow, because there's no 12:30.
11:15 tomorrow. Soccer brunch from the studio. Ty, Cass, and it's gonna be a great show tomorrow morning. So tune into that, and of course in the evening, Man United play tomorrow, right?
8 o'clock. So the 10 p.m. show will be reviewing that. Hey, Cass, you better win, bro.
Hi and Kaz, none of this positivity friends thing. Don't drop points again. Don't drop points again. You're lucky I went there after the break.
The next five, the next see my hands? The next 5 are going to be
All right, Booker T. About
see you guys. We're out of here. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Olo. Thank you, Mons. Thank you.
Big up Oli as well. Big up Sean.
Big up.